Hi everyone, and welcome back to our Saving Christmas series. This series is all about how I created our Saving Christmas game that I released in the run up to Christmas. If you've been following along, you can find the assets down in the description below, where you can find a download link to all the assets that are included as part of this project. In the last episode, we got work done on our icicle, so that icicle will spawn into the world with an eruption with an effect on the ground, indicating where it's going to spawn. So now we'll make phase 3. Phase 3 is where all these are going to spawn all over the map like crazy. So let's go into Frosty the Snowman. And much like what we've done with everything else, let's just move my phases around over here. We're going to add another phase. So this has got phase 1, phase 2, and then we go custom event, enter phase 3. Okay, now phase 3 is going to play an animation. So I'm going to copy that down here, and I'm going to despawn Frosty. On the despawning of Frosty, after that, it's now going to spawn in a ton of these spikes everywhere. So what we need to do is go and do a function for this, and go spawn icicle. And spawn icicle, we're going to do a spawn actor from class, and choose the icicle actor. And the spawn transform, we're going to split, and the transform location is going to come from a get random point in navigable radius, and I'm going to plug that in like so. The origin for this is going to be the actor's location, so get actor location, and the radius for this is going to be 1300, and hit compile. So spawn icicle is going to do that and just spawn an icicle. Okay, so after that, we are then going to tell it to run the function. So back to the event graph. So once we enter phase 3, play the animation, we're then going to do a set timer by function, and we're going to leave the object as blank because it's itself. The function name is going to be what we just typed in for spawn icicle, and the time for this is going to be 0.3. So every 0.3 seconds it's going to loop that and spawn an icicle. So to test that out, we'll do our begin play trick. So we're going to disconnect this and just place this straight into phase 3. Delete the one that's there currently, and let's test our phase 3 out. So spawning loads of icicles. Okay, and it'll keep doing that until we tell it not to. Okay, so now we've got to tell it not to do that. So to do that, we're going to do another timer. So enter phase 3, we're going to go set timer by event. And the event for this, we're going to come down, is another custom event called end phase 3. And at the end of phase 3, we're going to take that return value that we got from our set timer by function name. Let's actually promote that to a variable, and set that to icicle timer. We're going to tell that timer get to clear and validate timer by handle. Compile. So the time for this is going to be let's do 15 seconds. Let's see how long that is. So at the start, play, it despawns, and it'll do this for 15 seconds. Okay, that seems to have worked. So now we need to tell it to not keep these about. We want them to despawn or destroy themselves after a time. So let's go into our icicle actor, and the easiest way of doing that is in the class defaults, scroll down to the bottom and you'll see initial lifespan to 0. So we're going to change that then to, let's say, 6. Let's do that as 5, sorry, 5 seconds. Hit play. And so just keep an eye on that first one that spawns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These things are lasting about 5 seconds. Cool. So that's not too bad. They're spawning all over the place. So once we do that, we can go back to Frosty. And we can now work on the connection between these 3 phases. Because these are the 3 phases that are going to be happening on a loop, essentially. So the game's going to begin with phase 1. So phase 1 is going to occur for some time, and then it's going to go to phase 2. So we can do exactly what we've done here with set timer by event and end phase 3, exactly the same, but for phase 1 up here. So I'm going to go and drag out with drop snowball and promote that to a variable, and go we'll call this one call it boulder timer, just so we know it's the different one. And then from there we're going to set timer by event, a custom event, end phase 1, and end of phase 1 after 15 seconds. We're going to drag our boulder timer out, get and clear, and then validate it so it stops doing the boulders. We're then going to delay for about 3 seconds. Then after those 3 seconds, we're then going to enter phase 2. So that will go into phase 2. Let's skip phase 2 and go straight to phase 3. So on phase 3, after we end it, we're going to do another delay, again for 3 seconds, and then enter phase 2. So I'll go back to phase 2. Now after each of these, it's going to change what phase 2 goes to next. Okay, it'll either go to phase 1 or phase 3, whatever's next in the line basically. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to need to record what phase we were just in. Okay, so make a new variable and go previous phase, and we'll give that an integer type. At the end of phase 1, we're going to drag in previous phase and set that to the value of 1. And at the end of phase 3, we're going to drag that out again, choose set, and set that to 3. We then on phase 2 do what we've done here. We're going to set not set timer. After we play the animation, we're going to delay the length of the animation. So that length of that animation was 6 seconds. Okay, so let's do 7 seconds. And after that, we're going to do a check for what phase this was. So get previous phase, and we're going to check if it's equal to 1. Meaning if it's equal to 1, we're going to take the go to stage phase 3. So true, enter phase 3. If it's not equal to 1, that means we were just in phase 3. So in here, we're going to tell us to enter phase 1 and hit compile. So there are phases all linked up. I need to drag my begin play and put that at the start in phase 1. Just compile and test this out. So phase 1 is boulders. So let's do this for 15 seconds. The player has to avoid these boulders as they drop from the sky and roll across the map. After 15 seconds, he respawns and does his snowball shooting at the mouth trick. And it's in this window that you would expect the player to start trying to hit him. Then he'll spawn all his icicles, which you have to avoid. Like so. And then he should go back to phase 2 in a moment. And then return to phase 1. And there you go. There are 3 phases working. So at the moment, none of this is hurting the player. So in the next part, we're going to do the damage to the player and then make the player damage to Frosty. So thanks very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching this episode. And join us in the next episode where we add in the damage from the player and from Frosty. If you want to watch the episode right now, you can find it on patreon.com/RyanLaley. Thank you to all my patrons for their support, and I can't wait to get going with next year's content I've got lined up for you guys. Thanks very much, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.